morning. Time to start the day. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the vlog. I am extremely tired this morning. Emma had a very bad night, so it's a lot of coffee for me this morning. Yeah, how are you guys? I know there's a lot of new people here, so welcome if you're new here. My name is Maria. I live in Glasgow, Scotland, and I love to film loads of things that have to do with knitting. I still don't know how to do these intros. I design a little bit of knitwear. I have a job where I grade knitwear for somebody here in Glasgow, and I love making YouTube videos about all things knitting, as I like to say. We've got tutorials, we've got deep dives into knitting topics, loads and loads of things all around 2 needles and a skein, and I love it. So if that sounds like you'd enjoy it too, then maybe consider subscribing. Right, today is just a normal day. There's nothing special going on, but I haven't vlogged in a long time. And so I thought I would whip out the camera and just have you follow me around for the day today. So that's what we're gonna do. The sun is so bright, Jesus. I think I need to switch sides. I think I'm going to go for a little walk this morning. I think it's actually a running day for me, but my legs have just been cramping up a little bit, and I feel like it's better if I just take a walk and then do a bit more foam rolling later in the day, just to try and get these knots out. Maybe it's also my shoes which need replacing, not quite sure, but I feel like it's not the day for a run. So yeah, we're gonna go for a little walk just to get some fresh air and some movement, because it's gonna be a long day of sitting on my computer or sitting in front of the camera, so I don't think I'll get much movement in during the day. So that's what we're going to do this morning, and then I will work a little bit for Lydia. So I have a little kind of part-time job where I help somebody here in Glasgow grade their knitting patterns, and her name is Lydia. And so yeah, I help her with the grading side of things for her garments. And this morning I have a phone call with her, and I'm also going to continue doing a bit of grading for her, so that I have my hours sort of for the week done. And then I will film a YouTube video. So you will see that next week, I think. It's about unloved knits and what I've learned from them. I've written my script yesterday, in case you're kind of interested on how I do these videos. I have a sort of day where I write down a script. Sometimes it's a very rough script, and sometimes it's more worded to help me bridge over to another topic or to a certain thought or to a certain point. Today I've got more of a rough plan of what I want to say and not a fully written out script, so I think it's going to be a lot more easy. It's mainly also because it's my own experience. I've just written down certain things that I want to make sure that I say, that I don't forget to say, that kind of thing. So yeah, and then I'm going to probably be at the end of my working day because I think it'll take me a while. I just wanted to catch up with you guys because it has been quite a while since I filmed a vlog, and I also wanted to kind of talk to you about a couple of things that have been going on in my mind. But yeah, more on that later, because now it's time for breakfast and for a little bit of a walk. Enjoy a little montage of me on my walk, and maybe we'll find a nice little spot to have a chat somewhere. Actually, before I get changed, I really wanted to show you these trousers that I'm wearing. Ta-da! I've made them, and I think they're so cool. They're definitely super comfortable, and they're made out of a bed sheet. The pattern is by Rosie Caldwell, and she makes really nice simple patterns, and she does video instructions for all of them. So if you don't understand the written instructions, you could go onto the video and just see it, which I absolutely loved and needed, especially with the pockets as a new beginner sewer. So I am going to get changed now. Let's see what we're going to wear. Going for a very simple fit, just white tee, my Wild Winds vest in a knitting for olive heavy merino, and some mom jeans. It looks warm, but I'm not quite sure. I'm not trusting it. It's been very cold lately here in Scotland. So we better layer up, and we're going to go for a walk now. Let's go. This is such a lovely spot here, so I thought I might just start having a proper chat with you here. I don't know if it's just me or if you've also noticed that a lot of small designers are quitting the game. I don't know if it's just the content that I've been served lately, but it's something that's been on my mind a lot lately. And as a small designer who's just starting out, the things that they said and their reasonings for stopping and quitting were really resonating with me, and I just wanted to take a moment here and sort of chat with you guys about it, because I think I've made a decision to put the knitwear design on the back burner. But let me explain. It's not gone forever. It's just really hard going. It's very, very hard to make any money off of it, and peak hay fever. I think this may be actually a very dumb idea to film here. It's just, yeah, it's very hard to make any sort of money from it, and it's a very lengthy process to bring out a pattern, and if you want to do it well, you've got money going out in the process of making it. So if I don't make the money back on one pattern ready to fuel the process for the next one, then this whole model is not sustainable. So seeing all these people quit their design businesses kind of made me think about where I want to go with my own design business and whether I want to sustain it the way that it's going. So over the past few weeks, I've thought about that a lot, and I've asked myself what sort of time effort I want to put into this business and what sort of financial effort I want to put into this business. And I think it's just come to the point where designing is just not going to be the future. I think it's too costly to keep it going, and the amount of time and effort that you put into making a pattern is just not returning. So that is sort of one aspect of it. I still love doing it. I still love this creative side and being able to envision a piece and then bringing it to life. That's an immensely sort of gratifying thing for me to do, and I've never really had any creative outlets like that in my life, so I really appreciate it for that. But just because I want to stop bringing patterns out into the world doesn't mean that I have to stop making them or designing. So I think I'll still make my own clothes. I still think of designs and make them, but there's no more pressure of having it sell, of having to grade it into all these sizes, of making sure that it fits a lot of different body sizes and shapes. It's just a little bit of more easiness about it, and more sort of fun in it again. And it's just sort of for me, for my family. And I'll write all of it down. And if I ever feel like there's a pattern that you guys would love, or if you see something that I'm making and you'd really love it, then I don't mind making it into a pattern. But I just think I can't keep making them and not getting any money back, because I think sort of on average it costs me about £250 or so to bring out a pattern, and that's 2 tech edits and sometimes also a design consultancy hour. So yeah, it's expensive. And there's something that I haven't told you about so far, and that is a little business adventure that I want to start and that I want to put lots more of my energy on. So that is kind of another reason why I want to pull back on the design side of things and dedicate more of my time and energy into this new adventure, which I'm not going to talk about yet, but hopefully soon. But that's something that's going on behind the scenes and has been for a long while. And then the last sort of couple of reasons are just that I've noticed I can't knit as much and produce as much anymore as I would need to in order to keep making patterns and keep publishing in sort of short amount of times. And it's just to do with my hand. Since giving birth, I've had a weird injury running along my arm, and so whenever I knit a lot, I get the strain, injury and pain, and it just means I need to pull back on all the knitting. And I notice that it just gets worse and worse if I knit more and more. So that's another reason why I feel like I just can't sustain a knitting business. And then lastly, it's the good old Instagram, and just how hard it's become to be seen on Instagram. There's lots more people using it. The platform's changing constantly with its algorithms and things that it pushes, and it just feels sometimes like an uphill battle to constantly produce and show and be seen amongst all the noise and all the things that people get shown all the time. So yeah, it's just for me to kind of take the pressure off a little bit and to start enjoying the designing process again and put my time and effort into something that I see a future with. So yeah, just wanted to have this little heart-to-heart with you before we go into the day, and it's just been something that's been on my mind for a long time now. So yeah, I mean, it's not like anything will change much for you because I haven't been putting out patterns like crazy, but I think it's just a bit more of a conscious decision for myself to pull back on it and focus on other things and allow myself to do that, and allow myself to say, I've tried it and it's not for me right now. It's not a never, it's just not for right now. So okay, finally got that off my chest, and now it is time to head back inside and start the working day and start my call with Lydia. So I'll speak to you guys again soon. Right, so that was a very old long time just sitting on the computer, working away, having a phone call, and I am ready for some lunch now. So let's go into the kitchen and see what I can rustle up. And then maybe when I'm having my lunch, I can just tell you guys about what I've been knitting recently and what I've finished. And I also really want to have your help to find the next project that I should be knitting. Because now that I don't have to constantly knit my own things anymore, I can knit from other designers again, and I'm kind of excited about just sitting back and enjoying a finished pattern to knit from. So I have a few options that I want to run past you and see. So yeah, let's go make some lunch, see what we can rustle up. Let's look in the fridge. I think it's gonna be eggs on bread. Scrambled egg on bread. Oh well. I did a little scrambled egg on a like grainy bread type of thing, and it's very, very nice. And that grainy bread really keeps you filled for longer. So yeah, a simple, quick, but delicious and filling lunch for me today. So I just went and grabbed a few things because, as promised, I wanted to show you guys what I have been knitting on recently and what I've finished and what I'm working on right now, because I haven't done one of these in a very, very long time. The thing that I finished recently, a pair of socks, which has been on my needles for a embarrassingly long time. I don't know how long I've been on Sock Island for, but it's been months and months. The winter months have passed. And the problem is, because I've left it so long to finish the second sock, I forgot how many cuff decreases I did. And then I didn't do any at all for the second sock. So yeah, it's just to show you the difference. Yeah. So I think I need to redo the cuff. Anyway, but it's still a finished object. It still counts. So yeah, this is just a pair of socks that I've knitted from a pattern from, can't even remember. Need to put the name in below. It was a free pattern that I just found on Ravelry because I wanted a really, really simple, basic sock pattern. And I've knitted these before a couple of times. There's one little mistake in the instructions. So it's a toe up kind of sock. And these kind of increases that you do along the toe here, it says knit so and so many more rows, but it's actually the total of the rows that you're supposed to knit. Otherwise your stitch count won't work out. And yeah, it was lovely to knit, super easy. I just took so long to knit the second sock that I don't remember what decreases I did for the cuff. And I actually completely forgot that you do need to do some decreases for the cuff. So either I'll fix it with an elastic or I'll just redo it. The yarns that I've used, it's a DK weight from Anyfield Farm for all the contrasting colors, so all the brown. I can't remember the actual name of the color because I think it was from their sort of first few batches of yarn that they did. And it's a natural undyed variety that they had, which they don't do anymore. I haven't found it on their website since, but it's from Anyfield Farm. And it's a very lovely rough wool. It's a Scottish wool, and I bought it at Glasgow School of Yarn a few years ago now. And so I thought I need to start knitting with it. And then the main color is Drops Daisy in the marzipan or almondy color. I think it's 02. But yeah, very glad I finally have a new pair of bed socks. Then the second thing, which is sort of like 90% finished, is this little cardigan, which I've already shown in one of the Knit and Chat videos. It's a wild meadow cardigan, which is one of my own designs, and it's just a very simple drop shoulder stockinette stitch number. There is the option of knitting pockets as you go, which in this version I didn't do because this is for a 6-month-old baby and I thought she won't need any pockets. And I decided to embroider this with the name of the baby. So it's just a chain stitch embroidery. And then I put all these little hearts all over because I felt like it was looking a bit lonely. And yeah, all I need to do is attach the button bands. I have knitted, I think I've only knitted one button band. And then I need to make the second one and attach them both. And I better hurry because otherwise the baby will be too big and will have outgrown the size. So I should really get to that. Oh yeah, here's the button band. So for this pattern, because the button bands are so small and that's the only bit of double knitting that you do in this Wild Meadow cardigan pattern, I decided to add in a technique where you attach the button bands after they've been knitted, and that way you don't have to match your double knitting row gauge with your stockinette stitch row gauge, which is just meaning that you don't have to do so much swatching. So yeah, it's just a different way of doing it. And there's a tutorial video up for that if you're interested in it. But that's why this is sort of on its own here and not attached, even though it's a double knitting. Maybe I'll show you what I'm kind of like actively knitting on at the moment. If you've seen my Woolly Good Gathering little video of the things that I've bought and what it was like to be there, then you'll remember this yarn combination. It's this beautiful foxglove pink and this wonderful blue, which is yarn that I have bought at the Woolly Good Gathering, which is a yarn festival that's only been held 2 times so far. And it takes place in Edinburgh, and it's the first time that I was able to go. It was absolutely wonderful. It was so much fun. I've met so many of my Scottish knitting friends, and there were so many great vendors there, and I fell in love with this pink. So this is another Wild Meadow cardigan for my kid Emma. She is on the taller end of the standard sizing scale, so she has outgrown the cardigan that I made for her a few months ago. And so I decided to like double down on it and knit the next size up for her. I've already realized I should have made the body about 2 centimeters longer. Now it fits completely perfectly, but I want it to be a touch longer so that she can wear it for a little bit, maybe until sort of the end of the coming winter. So I think what I'm going to do is just open it up sort of here, put in a lifeline somewhere around here, and then get rid of this bottom portion, have it on a lifeline, then knit the next few centimeters that I need, and then just graft these 2 sections back together so that I don't have to redo any of the folded hem. I think it's just a touch quicker, and then I'll add a couple more centimeters to the body. And I've already made sure that the sleeves are a little bit longer than they need to be. And then, yeah, I'm going to do afterthought pockets with this one this time. I kind of want the pockets to be a bit more of a feature here at the front. And I'm not going to add the embroidery on that side on the collar for the Wild Meadow cardigan, because I think Emma just wants a pink and blue cardigan, plain cardigan. So hopefully I'll get this finished in the next week or so before we're going on a little seaside holiday again. The wool that I've used, I actually didn't say. The wool that I've used was from Ballyhora Fibre. It's called Foxglove. It's a non-superwash merino DK. That's the pink. And then the blue was from Crookston Craft, also non-superwash DK. Forgot the name, but I'll leave it all below here so that you can see exactly what colors they are. But yeah, really, really love that color combination, and she's very excited about it too. So that's what I'm knitting on kind of actively at the moment. But then I have another whip, which is another one of my designs, and this is called the Wild Sea set. Again, if you've been here for a hot minute, you'll have seen my Wild Sea sweater, which I finished a while ago. It's a half fisherman's rib drop shoulder design with a really long button band in the middle and a collar that folds. It's knitted in an Aran weight held with a lace weight. So I'm knitting it with drops Nepal and holding it with kid silk. And it's just a really sort of lovely, thick, give you a really nice fluffy hug type of sweater. And because it's so easy to hack it into a cardigan, I'm going to call it the Wild Sea set, and I'm going to offer instructions for both. So making the sweater and integrating the button band, or making a cardigan version. And I decided for the cardigan version, I want to do a double knitted button band. So I have knitted the body. It's a little bit more cropped than the sweater, simply because I think I'm going to wear this a lot with dresses. And I usually like my top layer to be a bit more cropped then. So I wanted to keep it a bit shorter, and I'm currently working on the sleeve pickup. These sleeves are quite skinny, the arms are quite skinny, and doing that means you have to do a set in sleeve grading. And with set in sleeve, you basically have a portion of the sleeve pickup where you do short rows, and then at some point you do short rows and decreases to get that skinny sleeve from that really wide armhole. But the problem is with half fisherman's rib, you need to maintain the stitch pattern, and for that you always need to do double decreases. So we basically have to do double decreases and Japanese short row turns in order to get that sleeve look. And like, I have to really sit down and completely focus and concentrate on it. And I don't know how many times I've redone it now because I've forgot how to do the turn properly, or I forgot what row I was on. So I really just have to take an hour, be completely by myself, no TV, no music, no podcast, and just sit down and knit this and completely write down what I'm doing in order for me to just get it right and make sure that my grading is correct. But that's why this hasn't got a sleeve yet. And once the sleeves are on, I can focus on the collar, which shouldn't be too hard to do. But before I can make the collar, I need to make the button band. And like I said, I want to do a double knit button band. So I'm currently swatching and trying to hit the right gauge to meet up with the row gauge of the half fisherman's rib. So that's kind of why this hasn't progressed very much. It's just something that I need to completely sit down and focus on. And the other cardigan that I was showing you, I can just sit in front of the TV and do, and that pattern is done, it's out. So it's just something that I can work from very easily. Hence why I've been doing a little bit more of that. But yeah, those are the things that I've recently sort of done and finished. Like I said before, I'm not dedicating a ton of time to knitting just because that pain in my arm has started to creep up again. But it's nice to just knit without pressure. But I'm not quite sure yet what I want to knit next. So I've had a little look what I might want to do while I'm on holiday. What I'd really kind of like in my wardrobe is another slip over that has an all over cable design. I kind of really love the look of them, and I think it would go well with a lot of pieces in my wardrobe. Now, the patterns that I kind of have my eye on, and maybe you guys have knitted those patterns before or from those designers before, so let me know in the comments please what you thought if you did. The first one that I'm considering is from Mossy Knits, and it's the Vest Taipei. It's a lovely all over cable design with some straight knit columns and purl columns in between. I think it looks really cool and classic. The only thing that I'm concerned about is that it looks like quite a boxy fit. The shoulders are going a slight bit over the actual physical shoulder point, and then it's going straight down. It doesn't look like there are any decreases in the body from what I can tell from the pictures, which is making me slightly nervous because I know that's a fit that I don't like on myself. So that's kind of the point where I'm a little bit concerned that it just is going to be sort of too shapeless for my liking. I could hack the pattern and maybe make the shoulders fit my actual shoulder length a little bit more. I think that would help. But the whole point is that I don't have to do a lot of thinking and maths. So it's a maybe. Interrupting the regular programming because as I'm sitting here editing and grabbing the pictures from Ravelry to show you cabled vest designs, I've just seen that Alice Knitwear has brought out the Milano vest, and that is literally exactly what I was looking for. The quarrels that I had with the Vest Taipei was the longer shoulder pieces, and I would rather have them sit a bit more flush with the edge of my shoulder, and that vest has exactly that designed in. So I want to make an amendment and throw in the Milano vest into the mix here. Okay, over. So the other thing that I have earmarked is by Cookie the Knitter, and it's the Serena sweater. It's a cable design, like a Ganzi sweater type of design, and it just looks really fun to knit, and it looks like it has a great fit. It's a drop shoulder. I love the cabling that she's used in her design. Little moss stitch on the side, looks like it has a good amount of ease, so it has a bit of short rows to slope the shoulders. It's gonna be interesting doing that with a patterned design. A relatively size inclusive design. She's going up to bust 140 centimeters, which is just a bit shy of what I'd like to see, but I really want to make sure that I'm knitting something that is a bit more size inclusive, and it's in an Aran weight, which is beautiful because I love my drops Nepal. So any excuse I can have to knit with that would be great. Oh, she's actually mixing Alana Gato yarn with drops alpaca. Oh, that's a good idea. I have a lot of drops alpaca. Maybe I could actually like hold it with something else to use up that. That's kind of the next requirement. I'd really love to use up stash yarn rather than buy anything new, because I feel like I have a lot in my stash. If you're interested in seeing it, I've just uploaded a video a few weeks ago showing you all that's in it, but I feel like there are so many skeins in there which I planned for projects that never happened, but now I kind of have to use them. So it would be great if I could just use yarn that I have in stash, but I don't know if I have that type of quantity. But it's a really lovely sweater, and I think if I start now I might have it finished by the time the weather gets colder again. So, and I really want a Ganzi sweater in my collection, so that is a very strong contender. This one, strong contender. The third one that I have my eye on is a cardigan by Vert and Rose by Alexandra, and it's the Isa cardigan. It's just a really lovely drop shoulder with a laced paneling at the front on either side of the button band, and I think it just looks so sort of classic, pretty, very sort of romantic, feminine, and I just think it'd go with so many of my summer dresses. And I feel like I am lacking some nice summery cardigans that I can just throw on a dress or a nice blouse or something like that. So that in a sort of cropped version, I think would look really, really lovely with a few dresses. I think that would be a fun knit as well. The only thing is it's worked bottom up, which is not my preferred way of working things because I really love to try things on as I go to determine length and all of that, which you can still do with bottom up designs. You have to be a bit inventive, but not my favorite. So let me know maybe if you've knitted from Cookie the Knitter before and how you found their pattern. I would love to know. And now I have finished my lunch. I've just heard that the washing machine's done, so it's probably time to go hang the washing outside since it is a dry day, and then it's time to start filming my video for the day. Now I need to clean up a little bit in here before I make the next chaos. I also need to write down a shot list for all the B-roll. Okay, so yay, let's tidy up. Okay, I'm done. I have filmed all my bits for the video and it's almost time to go pick up Emma. And the room's a mess a little bit, so we're gonna have to be tidying up again. I think that's where I'm gonna leave you for today because I'm actually just going to tidy up and then get into mom mode and try and figure out what's for dinner and remember to get my washing in. All these fun things. But thank you for spending some time with me today. I feel like it's been long overdue that we had a chat, and I hope you enjoyed this little vlog. If you want to see a specific video, as always, please leave it in the comments below. I love getting inspiration from you guys, but I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I hope to see you again soon. Right, I'll go tidy up now.